Today we are discussing a critical issue that rarely makes headlines but directly affects U.S. national security, financial integrity, and public safety: how criminal networks launder money out of the United States. This topic has been extensively researched and addressed by Albert Hadi, a well-known author and researcher with more than 25 years of experience working alongside U.S. interagency partners to counter state-sponsored terrorism and extremist propaganda. His analysis is also explored in his Amazon best-selling book, Terror, Inc., The Business of Hate and Animosity. Each year, an extraordinary amount of illicit money quietly exits the United States. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, between 2 and 5% of global GDP is laundered annually. That equals roughly $800 billion to $2 trillion US dollars. The United States is not just a destination for illicit funds. It is a major transit and exit point for criminal wealth moving overseas. The reason is straightforward. The United States has one of the most stable banking systems in the world, enormous transaction volume, deep capital markets, and for many years, relatively permissive corporate formation rules. These are economic strengths, but they are also vulnerabilities that sophisticated criminal networks actively exploit. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network reports that hundreds of billions of dollars linked to narcotics trafficking, fraud, cybercrime, and corruption move through or exit the American financial system every year. The Department of Homeland Security has repeatedly warned that criminals target the United States because funds can be layered, transferred, and exported faster than law enforcement can respond. So why do criminals move illicit money out of the United States? Moving funds overseas reduces exposure to U.S. investigators, shifts assets into jurisdictions with weaker oversight, and makes seizure and recovery far more difficult. Once funds leave the country, they are often routed through multiple accounts, businesses, and jurisdictions to further obscure their origin. Laundering is not an afterthought. It is a core operational function that allows criminal and terrorist organizations to survive and expand. Who is involved in this activity? These are not just street-level criminals or drug traffickers. Laundering networks include cybercrime syndicates, fraud rings, sanctions evaders, corrupt foreign officials, and terrorist financiers. Just as important are professional enablers such as lawyers, accountants, corporate service providers, trade intermediaries, and money services operators. The Department of Justice has made clear that modern laundering is a service-based industry, not a one-person crime. Where does the money go? Illicit funds commonly flow to parts of the Caribbean, Central America, Europe, the Gulf region, and East Asia. Transfers occur through banks, informal value systems, trade transactions, charities, and increasingly through digital platforms and cryptocurrency. Let me briefly outline 6 verified methods used to launder money out of the United States. First, Hawala and informal value transfer systems. These trust-based networks move value without using formal banks, leaving little or no paper trail. Second, the abuse of nonprofits and charities. High-profile cases like the Holy Land Foundation and the Benevolence International Foundation demonstrated how charitable structures were used to fund designated terrorist organizations under the cover of humanitarian aid. Third, shell companies and professional enablers. Anonymous companies registered in certain U.S. states have been used to receive illicit funds and wire them overseas disguised as legitimate business activity. Fourth, trade-based money laundering. This method manipulates invoices and shipment values. Cartels have used U.S. businesses to convert drug proceeds into export revenue through falsified trade documentation. Fifth, bulk cash smuggling. Despite modern finance, criminals continue to move large amounts of physical currency across U.S. borders. What authorities seize represents only a fraction of what actually leaves the country. Sixth, digital transfers and cryptocurrency laundering. Cases involving Bitcoin fog and the Bitfinex hack revealed how billions of dollars were laundered through mixers, foreign exchanges, and weak compliance environments. So why does this matter? Because money laundering is a force multiplier. It allows criminal organizations, terrorist groups, and hostile actors to regenerate, expand, and operate with relative impunity. Federal cases consistently show that these laundering networks are organized, scalable, and adaptive. If money laundering is treated as a paperwork issue instead of a national security threat, these networks will continue to outpace enforcement. Protecting the integrity of the U.S. financial system requires dismantling the infrastructure that makes illicit finance repeatable and profitable. This is not abstract. It is happening now, and it affects all of us. For deeper analysis, this issue is explored in Terror Inc., The Business of Hate and Animosity by Albert Hadi. Available on Amazon. https://www.amazon.com. Terror Inc. Business. Hate Animosity ebook. DP. B0DYG31M6N.